Hey guys, this is Mr. A. Crizzy here, and in today's movie review, I'm going to be doing a movie review on the 2003 sequel to the 2001 MGM film starring Reese Witherspoon once again, and that's going to be on Legally Blonde 2. Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonde. So, Legally Blonde 2, this is the sequel to the original Legally Blonde starring Reese Witherspoon once again, and so the story of Legally Blonde 2 goes like this. Reese Witherspoon is back in Elle Woods' strappy shoes, and this time she's taking on Washington, D.C., featuring an all-star cast including Sally Field, Bob Newhart, and Luke Wilson. This hilarious hit comedy is a hugely enjoyable sequel, says TV Guide, that will leave you lobbying for more. When Elle Woods discovers that her lovable Chihuahua, like Brewster's mom, is locked in a cruel animal testing felicity, whatever you want to pronounce that. She heads to D.C. to fight for animal rights and give Washington a makeover and prove once and for all that America really is the land of the free and the home of the blonde. And so, just like the first movie, I watched the sequel on YouTube for free with advertisements. And I gotta say, just like the first movie, I also enjoyed Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonde. I also enjoyed the sequel as well. And of course, I've had this DVD for a long time as well. And I remember this movie, and I remember like seeing a DVD for this when I was at Target when I was a little kid, like back in like 2004 or 2003. But this movie actually first came out in 2003, because at first I thought this movie came out in 2004, but this sequel actually came out the year before that. So it's actually 2003. Yeah, so, and I thought I honestly think it's also a good sequel to Legally Blonde. And so far, I gotta say it's the last good Legally Blonde film because like I said in my last review on the first Legally Blonde film, because I watched I watched the direct video, just like it's called like Legally Blondes, because Legally Blondes that had no Reese Witherspoon in it, even though she was probably the executive producer for that film. But I didn't really like the directed video, because I think the directed video film Legally Blondes, I think that one actually came out in 2009. And I also watched that movie on YouTube as well, and I didn't really like Legally Blondes. I thought it was weak and it was bad. Cause like I said, the first two Legally Blondes are the good ones, and it's also the first two Legally Blonde films that we should all stick with. And plus, I even heard that they're planning on making a third Legally Blonde film, because they're planning on making a third Legally Blonde film, and I think Reese Witherspoon's actually coming back to do the third film. Which I remember hearing that Legally Blonde 3 was supposed to come out sometime in like 2020, a couple years ago, but then that got delayed in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. But that's the cases have already chilled out, and it's not as bad as a couple of years ago. But yeah, so far Legally Blonde 2 is so far the last good Legally Blonde film. And I gotta say, the acting itself is good, and Reese Witherspoon still does a great job playing Elle Woods, and Luke Wilson was pretty good, and of course the sequel stars Sally Field and Bob Newhart. Bob Newhart and Sally Field were both good in this film too. Oh yeah, and of course the Chihuahua, because I am a dog lover, and I gotta say that the Chihuahua was pretty cute. Oh yeah, this movie once again stars Jennifer Coolidge, and oh yeah, and of course the music score is also composed, and the music score to this movie is also composed by Rolf Kent. Oh, so that's two 2003 films that Rolf Kent composed the music score. This movie and Freaky Friday. And as I was gonna say, this movie also stars Regina King as well. And I think Regina King did great in this film as well. I was gonna say good, but because I do like Regina King. I think she's a great actress. And yeah, and of course, Access Hollywood, it even says on the backside of the DVD here, it's like Reese Witherspoon is America's movie sweetheart. Yeah, I bet most of us can agree on that, since Reese Witherspoon's been in a lot of really good movies, like especially when she won an Oscar for Best Actress in Walk the Line. Yeah, and her voice acting roles, I just found out about one of her voice acting roles for an animated movie. Her first voice acting role was actually in that animated film, The Trumpet of the Swan, and that was like way before Monsters vs. Aliens and the Sing franchise. Like, Susan Murphy from Monsters vs. Aliens and Rosita from Sing and Sing 2. Yeah, so and I gotta say, Legally Blonde 2 is also one of my favorite films from MGM. Yeah, because probably one of MGM's most rare good sequels that they made. I mean, I know I've heard they made lots of really good sequels like from MGM. Yeah. Because I gotta say, I think MGM does a good job directing, like not really directing, but it's just I think MGM does a good job working on the Legally Blonde films, the first two. So overall, Legally Blonde 2 is another very good sequel to the original Legally Blonde, and I'm gonna give Legally Blonde 2 4 out of 5 stars, or 3.5 out of 5. That's my best rating. Yeah, it's just what I think. So if you haven't seen Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonde yet, then I say give this movie a watch. And plus it's still better than Legally Blondes. Like, you know what I mean. That's what the 2009 film is called, Legally Blondes. Like, I say just stick with the first two Legally Blondes, and then hopefully we'll hear more about Legally Blonde 3 to see if it's really, to see if we get a release date for that. Because Legally Blonde 3's had the release date for Legally Blonde 3's been delayed a couple times, maybe a few or more, but yeah. So yeah, definitely check out Legally Blonde 2 if you haven't yet. And that's going to be it for my movie review on Legally Blonde 2. And that's going to be it for this video, so make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, this is Mr. A. Crizzy saying, goodbye, everybody, and that's about it.